Jordan Spieth was once the young prodigy destined to be golf's next legend. In 2015, he set the sport on fire, capturing the attention of fans worldwide with his unbreakable focus, precision, and raw talent. At just 21, Spieth became the youngest Masters winner in nearly 40 years, setting records and raising expectations. But as quickly as his rise began, things took a dramatic turn. Today, Spieth's journey is one of hope and heartbreak, a relentless fight to return to his winning form. Jordan Spieth was born on July 27, 1993, in Dallas, Texas, to a family that valued sports and competition. His father, Sean, was the one who first introduced Jordan to golf, and it wasn't long before he fell in love with the game. Even at a young age, Spieth stood out. His work ethic, focus, and passion for golf were apparent from the start. By the time he was 12, he was competing in junior tournaments, consistently beating his peers, and starting to get noticed on the junior golf circuit. By high school, Jordan's reputation was growing. In 2009, he won the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship, joining an exclusive club of golfers, including Tiger Woods, who had won the title twice. Spieth's talent was undeniable, and he continued to impress through his teenage years. College recruiters came calling, and he ultimately chose to play for the University of Texas, one of the country's most prestigious golf programs. As a freshman, he helped Texas win the NCAA championship in 2012. That same year, Spieth made a bold move. He turned professional at just 19 years old. It didn't take long for the world to see Spieth's potential. In 2013, he won his first PGA Tour event at the John Deere Classic, becoming the youngest winner on tour in over 80 years. Just like that, Spieth had made history, and he hadn't even reached his 20s. His early success on the tour earned him a spot on the 2013 President's Cup team, a rare accomplishment for someone so young. With every tournament, Spieth's star was rising, and he was quickly becoming one of golf's most promising young talents. But 2015 would be the year Jordan Spieth changed the sport forever. That April, Spieth dominated the field at the Masters, shooting an incredible 18 under par to win his first major. His performance was nothing short of legendary, tying Tiger Woods' record for the lowest score at Augusta. Spieth's putting was clinical, his shots precise, and his focus unbreakable. He followed this victory by winning the U.S. Open just a few months later, becoming the youngest player to win 2 majors in the same year since 1922. For golf fans, 2015 was the year of Jordan Spieth. He didn't just win, he made history with every swing. Spieth claimed 5 tournament titles, 2 of them majors, and narrowly missed out on completing the Grand Slam, finishing as a runner-up at the PGA Championship. The hype was real, and people were beginning to ask whether Spieth was the next Tiger Woods, the player to bring golf back into the spotlight. But for every athlete who reaches these heights, there's always a risk of the unexpected. The year after his historic season, Spieth returned to Augusta to defend his Masters title, entering the final round with a strong lead. He looked poised to repeat his victory, but on the 12th hole, Spieth faced one of the most devastating moments of his career. His tee shot found the water. His next shot, a drop, landed in the water again. In a matter of minutes, Spieth went from leading the Masters to watching it slip away. The 2016 Masters would be remembered as one of the greatest collapses in golf, and Spieth, once untouchable, now looked vulnerable. That moment on the 12th at Augusta marked a turning point in Spieth's career. Suddenly, his biggest opponent wasn't the course or other players, it was himself. The confidence that once defined his game began to falter, and his putting, once his greatest strength, grew unpredictable. Spieth's mental game, once seemingly indestructible, was starting to crack under the weight of expectation and his own frustration. The years that followed brought more struggles than triumphs. In 2017, Spieth managed to capture the Open Championship, showcasing flashes of the brilliance that had once made him a superstar. But as his ranking slipped and his wins became more elusive, it was clear something had changed. The consistency he once displayed had become a memory, and the young man who had taken golf by storm was now facing an uphill battle, struggling to find the rhythm and focus that had once come so naturally. Questions began to emerge. Was Spieth in a slump, or was this the start of a long-term decline? He continued working with his longtime coach, Cameron McCormick, making adjustments to his swing, refining his technique, and trying to rebuild his confidence. For every step forward, there seemed to be another step back. Spieth's game had become a roller coaster of highs and lows, and fans, as well as Jordan himself, were left wondering if he could ever find his way back. Spieth's journey was beginning to look less like a career and more like a test of resilience. While he had all the talent in the world, golf is as much a mental game as it is physical. Spieth was facing a mental challenge that few could understand. With each missed putt or lost lead, the pressure only grew, and the weight of his past achievement became heavier. The same expectations that once propelled him to greatness were now a constant reminder of what he was struggling to achieve again. Through it all, Spieth remained determined. Even in the face of doubt and criticism, he continued to grind, showing up to tournaments with the same hope and hunger. He knew what he was capable of. He had proven it before. And despite the frustrations and setbacks, Spieth's passion for the game never wavered. He wasn't ready to give up, even if the road back to the top seemed longer and harder than he had ever imagined. The 2017 Open Championship victory had shown he still had greatness within him, even if it appeared less frequently. As he worked to regain consistency, fans continued to cheer him on, hoping each tournament might be the one where he finally broke through. They saw the same grit, the same passion in Spieth. All he needed was to piece together those brilliant moments again and find the consistency he lost. But the more Spieth tried to reclaim his form, the more elusive it seemed. He tried everything: swing changes, new routines, even changes to his approach on the green. Every adjustment felt like one step forward, two steps back. In a game as technical as golf, even the slightest tweak can have massive consequences, and Spieth was no exception. The pressure to fix his game became a new obstacle, one that affected his confidence even further. As the years went by, Spieth's world ranking continued to slip. For a player who had once been world number one, falling outside the top 50 felt like a harsh reminder of the unforgiving nature of professional golf. Spieth went from being a household name to a symbol of unrealized potential. People began to wonder if Jordan Spieth, who took the golf world by storm, was gone forever. But despite the setbacks, Spieth never lost his determination. He was still showing up to every tournament, putting in the work, and fighting for a comeback. In interviews, he remained optimistic, often saying, "I know what I'm capable of." Spieth's journey wasn't just about winning anymore. It was about proving to himself and to everyone that he could overcome adversity. By 2021, Spieth's efforts began to show signs of promise. After years without a victory, he came close to winning several tournaments early in the season. Though he fell short, there was a renewed energy in his game. Spieth was playing with a level of confidence and poise that fans hadn't seen in years. His putting was sharper, his drives more precise, and he seemed to have a newfound focus on the course. It was as if the Jordan Spieth of 2015 was slowly making his way back. Then, in April 2021, Spieth finally broke his winless streak, capturing the title at the Valero Texas Open. It was a moment that felt like a redemption story years in the making. For Spieth, it wasn't just another win. It was a victory over the doubt, the frustration, and the years of hard work. With this win, he proved to himself and the world that he could still compete at the highest level. Reflecting on that win, Spieth shared his relief, saying, "It's been a road that's had a lot of tough days. I never really doubted in the long term, but it's very frustrating in the short term." His words resonated with fans who had watched his journey from the outside. They saw a player who had every reason to give up but never did. That Texas win wasn't just a title. It was a testament to Spieth's resilience and the sheer determination to never let his career be defined by a slump. The 2021 season became a pivotal year for Spieth. With his confidence restored, he continued to compete at a high level, finishing strong in several tournaments. There was a renewed spark in his game, a reminder of why fans fell in love with him in the first place. The comeback wasn't complete, but Spieth had shown that he wasn't going anywhere. He was back to competing, back to being a contender, and most importantly, back to believing in himself. Spieth's journey is far from over. Today, he's still fighting, working to reclaim the form that made him a golfing sensation. But now, his story is about more than just wins and losses. It's about resilience, grit, and the never-ending pursuit of greatness. Spieth's legacy has transformed from that of a young prodigy to a seasoned professional who understands that success isn't just about talent, but about perseverance. For many, Spieth's journey is inspiring, not because he dominated the game for a season, but because he faced failure and chose to fight through it. He could have walked away or faded into the background, letting his early achievements stand as his legacy. Instead, he chose the harder path, the one that required him to confront his own weaknesses and rebuild his confidence. As Spieth continues to chase major victories and battle his way back into the top ranks, one thing is clear: his story isn't finished. Whether he reclaims his spot at the top or not, Jordan Spieth's journey is a testament to the highs and lows of a professional athlete. He's learned to embrace the struggle, to find joy in the fight, and continue pushing forward, regardless of the outcome. In a sport as unpredictable as golf, it's impossible to say what the future holds for Jordan Spieth. He may win more majors, he may face more setbacks, or he may find a level of contentment outside the winner's circle. But one thing's certain, Spieth has already left a mark on the game, not just as a talented golfer, but as an athlete who showed the world the power of resilience. As he steps onto the course each week, chasing that next victory, Spieth embodies the spirit of the game, It's not about how quickly you rise or how much you win. It's about how you respond when the game pushes you to your limits. And Jordan Spieth, no matter what happens next, has already proven he's here to fight.